Goodbye, year of the rat. Hello, year of the ox. Today marks Chunjie, the last day of the lunar calendar in Chinese culture, meaning the most important time of the year. Chunjie, or the Spring Festival holiday, is about to begin. Normally, this is a time when families reunite with loved ones to share lavish meals, play games, watch TV galas, and light fireworks where they're allowed. But last year's New Year's Eve was different. On January the 23rd, 2020, the whole city of Wuhan was locked down because of COVID-19. Since then, the pandemic has turned our lives upside down. What about this year? How are people celebrating Chunjie despite the lingering impact of the virus? What's their takeaway of the last year? What's the silver lining for them in these hard times? And most importantly, what they're having for dinner tonight. Joining me for this special Chunjie edition of The Point with me, Liu Xiaoqian, are Jason Lightfoot and his wife, joining us from the southwestern Chinese province of Guizhou. Xiong Yijun, an English teacher at a middle school in Wuhan, and Liu Xiaoqian, a colleague of mine, joining us from San Francisco of the United States of America. Welcome to all of you. So first of all, I want to go to Jason and your wife. You were on my show just last month, so it's good to have you back. But for all those of our audience who don't really know your story, tell us a bit about yourself and of course of your wife as well.
Hello, thank you. It's my pleasure to be back on your show again. My name is Jason. This is my wife, Zhao. I'm originally from England, Sheffield. I've lived in China now for almost 10 years. I make videos about China, my daily life here, and most of the time I'm located here in Guizhou province, in this fifth-tier city, and I feel that I show my daily life on my YouTube channel, and I feel that it's quite unique in a way because I'm showing life from not from the first-tier cities, but it's from a fifth-tier city such as Xiong.
Yeah. Are you a little bit nervous, Jason? You should feel very at home on TV, on screen, in video.
Yeah, maybe a little bit nervous.
For the Spring Festival or something else? Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in just a moment. Let me go to our second guest, Xiong Yijun. You are a middle school teacher teaching English. I understand you lived, of course, through the very difficult lockdown of Wuhan, especially in the beginning of the pandemic last year. This day must be really special. But tell us a bit about what you do, who you are, and how, for instance, you were featured in the documentary called Long Time No See Wuhan, made by a Japanese director.
Hi, I'm Xiong Yijun, a middle school teacher in Wuhan, and I'm also a part-time vlogger, so I make videos about what life is like in Wuhan. Again, See Wuhan is a documentary, and it leads the audience to know more about Wuhan and how Wuhan people felt about the pandemic, maybe during and after the pandemic. I guess I just did some regular work. I keep records of my daily lives, and I share my ideas and my attitude to people. I want to show people we can still be happy during the pandemic.
But if you let her see that man say, look, sure that you're not that shy. Let her see that man say, look, sure you're that type of guy.
Two-step, two-step, two-step. Two-step, two-step, two-step.
So I use some drones. Actually, the drone is my birthday gift. And my birthday was on January 22nd. And the next day, the city got locked
Wow.
down. So, well, it's I don't know if you have a drone and
I
your
don't.
city is locked down. I think yeah, you'll do the same thing as I did.
Wow. What a coincidence. I
Mm,
mean, January 22nd, and the
yeah.
next day the city goes into lockdown, and you received a gift as a drone, so you put that into use. It must have been an incredible period of time.
Yeah,
But how did you learn your English? I mean,
like my
are
destiny.
you 100% Chinese? Did you live abroad? Do you have any, foreign connections so that you speak such fluent English?
Oh, thank you for that. I'm 100% Chinese and I live in Wuhan all my life. I don't know, I may learn my English through English songs, movies, or something like that. And I like traveling abroad. Yeah,
Wow, that's amazing. But there are a lot of
yeah, thanks.
English learning enthusiasts in China. I can tell you that. Now, my last guest, but definitely not least, Xiaoqian, my colleague, who's been reporting on many major issues in the United States, and definitely this year is a very special one. Tell us a bit about yourself. You look so young. Have you just started your job?
Hi, Liu Xiaoqian, how are you?
I'm
Thank you
good.
for having me. For the viewers of our show, my name is Liu Xiaoqian. I'm US-based correspondent for CCTV Mandarin channels. And well, I have to say that I feel quite lucky to be a Chinese because we have one more Chinese New Year compared to our Western friends, and one more chance to make a New Year resolution. Also, one more chance to start over.
But yeah, my question is, how long have you been working? Where have been the places that you've been posted to?
Yeah, this year is my 10th year. I've been working as a foreign correspondent in the past 10 years. And I based in Brazil from 2011 to 2019. And I was transferred to the US in 2019 as a US-based correspondent. And yeah, it was a journey.
Wow, amazing. 10 years. We definitely want to hear more of that. But let me start with this very simple question. Where and how are you going to celebrate your Chinese New Year's Eve, especially that dinner plan that's on everybody's lips? Jason, you're in Guizhou. There are a lot of delicacies there. And I don't know about your wife, or whether she cooks or not, whether you cook or not. What is your plan? I mean, this Spring Festival is going to be tough for a lot of people, right? The travel has been largely discouraged because of fear of mass transmission of the virus. So it's difficult for a lot of time. They won't be able to go back and join their family. What about your situation?
Yeah, a lot of people, unfortunately, this year, they can't reunite with their family members because of COVID-19 restrictions. So millions of people, hundreds of millions of people are making a personal sacrifice this year to help together to help stop the spread of the virus. I think that's really admirable, impressive. Everyone's working together to try and stop the spread of the virus. Luckily for us, though, this Chinese New Year, all our family is located in Guizhou province, so we don't have to leave the province to travel. Usually we'll celebrate together in Zhao's parents' house, and we'll just be putting up Chinese decorations, sticking the Dui Lian on the door frame and on the front of the house.
Yeah, the couplets with
yeah,
characters on it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting up the lanterns, Chinese lanterns. And actually, it's a funny story. One of my the first time that I celebrated Chinese New Year, and we were having, Zhao's mother was cooking the meal, and she's preparing so many dishes. And she set up the table, and I thought that everything was ready and that I could start to eat. And I sat down, and I was like, "Oh, let's eat." And then Zhao's mom was like, "你干嘛？不可以吃." And I was like, I didn't know what. I had no idea about it. Yeah, I didn't have any idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Because actually, she sets the table first for the spirits of the ancestors to eat first.
Xiong Yijun, how about you? What is your plan for the Spring Festival? Do you have the luxury that your family are also in Wuhan, so you don't have to travel to meet each other?
Yeah, sure. But I think this year I'm gonna, do some make-ups, because last year on the very New Year's Eve, I left my family and I chose to live alone in my own apartment. I didn't know exactly why, but maybe it's because my instinct told me if one of my family, got infected by the virus, maybe the whole family just, it bad luck to the whole family.
Yeah.
So I chose to live alone, and distance makes reunion priceless. Yeah, so I guess I just couldn't stand spending too much time with my family under one roof for too long. So last year it was like the most lonely New Year for me. So this year I'm gonna make this up. So I'll return to my home, spend time with my parents and my grandmother and also my dog. Yeah, I should treasure the time, and maybe I will make another video.
I hope they're all doing fine. I really hope that they're all doing fine. They have not been so
Yeah, thanks.
adversely affected by the virus. But what's the meal plan? What do you expect to be on the dinner table that day?
I've never cooked the New Year's meal for my family, so my plan is to
What do they cook for you?
my family. I think that's up to you.
What do they cook for you normally? What would appear normally on the table? Name a thing or
Everything,
two.
like the fish, the meat. I never made any New Year's meal for them, so this year something new. Yeah, that's new.
Yeah, good, good. At least you'll be able to have a family reunion for this year. Xiaoqian, for the 10th year, how many times have you not been able to reunite with your family for this most important day of the year for most people? And I guess you won't be able to do that this year either. What is your plan?
It's very funny that you stop counting that, how many times that you're not able to
You start to
travel back to
count.
China after a certain year. Because
You start to count how many
remember
times
very
you can
clearly-
spend with your family, right?
yeah, because like I remember the first year, 10 years ago, when I first moved to Brazil. Then you have like, oh, this is the first year that I couldn't have Chushi with my family, and the next year would be the second year, and you just give up counting. This is a very interesting thing. But to be honest with you, Chushi has been always a very busy season for us as foreign correspondent, because there's so many breaking news coming out. I think there's two reasons. One is that in the country that I base, no matter Brazil in the past or United States now, people continue working. There's no holiday here. And the second reason is just like I mentioned, the breaking news just keeps showing up no matter what. So we have to be like 24/7 ready. And so normally
The shop has
sushi
to be
meal would
24/7
like very
open.
simple, like some and the sushi meals is always very simple, like some dumplings for the good luck. Yeah, so that's why I talked to Jason like before the show started, that I feel so lucky that
There's your
in
companion.
China,
There's
they
your
can have
company.
their
There's
very
your
nice
dog.
meal.
Your dog just appeared on the screen. He will keep you company, probably.
Oh really?
Yeah,
You saw
he's
that?
right behind you. He's right behind you.
I'm pretending that nothing happened. Let me check.
Oh,
Oh
he's
yeah,
sweet.
she's there.
How
She's
sweet.
there.
Well, at least he or she will, yeah, will.
She's very quiet. She's very quiet. So
That's okay.
I'm having the sushi meal with my dog. You know,
Oh,
at this I'm not alone.
oh. But what are you going to eat? Are you going to get some instant jiaozi, or are you going to make some jiaozi for yourself if you know how to?
I'm gonna buy some, you know, jiaozi from the supermarket, for the Asian grocery store, because I don't know how to make it. And maybe I'll prepare some fish, which is also a kind of good luck food, right? Like fish and some seafood, maybe. Oh, the list is getting too long. Maybe dumplings only. Yeah.
When you start thinking about it, your mouth start watering. But I was not done with
Yeah.
I was not done with Jason and Zhao, because in Guizhou you have a lot of delicacy. I remember when I went to Guizhou,
Yeah.
it's like I can't stop, you know, savoring food and trying new things. So Zhao, now it is your time to tell us. Are you going to cook? What do you cook mostly for Jason? And any special plan for Spring Festival Eve?
Usually a spring festival and
Because
usually
Zhao,
chef.
I know Zhao is always eating noodle in Jason's video.
Yeah. Yeah, usually on Chinese New Year, and my mom is the chef, and probably I just help her instead of helping around. We eat a lot of spicy here in Guizhou, and Jason loves spicy, but he doesn't like jergen, so that's the thing that he can't take it.
But
And then what's the most favorite dish from my mom?
I would probably say the smoked. There's like a smoked sausage dish that they do in
Yes.
Guizhou. It tastes really nice. It's very similar to the bacon that we have in England. Yeah, so I like that one.
yeah, I'm really curious about Jason, because Jason, I watched some of your YouTube content. That one thing that struck me, you are funny. You have a sense of humor, sometimes even a little sarcastic. But in real life, you are kind of shy. Zhao, am I right? I mean, it's like he has two persona, one on air and one in real life. What is it? Is it true?
I guess when it's just me, because in the videos you don't realize that it's just me and the camera. There's no one around. Maybe I'm more relaxed, and in some way, maybe I'm more outgoing on the videos. I guess.
Let's come back to the year 2020, and it's time to reflect on the past year as well. It's been an extraordinary year for everybody, I'm sure. But Yijun, if I asked you to recall one moment that's most unforgettable, either happy or sad, you decide, what would it be?
Well, actually, there are too many moments
Yeah,
to,
but one
to
most
recall.
unforgettable.
But what comes to me first was the moment when the news said Wuhan got locked down. Many of my friends from all over the world, like Shanghai, Taiwan, and the US, and New Zealand, and even Thailand, they just sent their concern to me to show that they are caring about me. I think that's really touching. And you know what? The neighborhood of mine just got really united. So for many times, some neighbors said, could someone just give me some ginger or something? Many people just would hand the thing they need on the doorknob, and then we just left. So you can see many things, many bags, plastic bags hanging on the knob. I think that's really touching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? Why was that most unforgettable? Were you thinking that people maybe would not respond to each other's needs so much, or that it was an extraordinary disaster that brings out extraordinary humanity in moments like this?
Right. Yeah, because people living in the city, sometimes we feel distant. Just I didn't know what my neighbors looked like before pandemic. I never talked to them. But in the very hot time, and during the very hot time, people just help each other, and maybe we were barely strangers, but we got united. So yeah, I think that's the strength, that's the power of humanity.
How did it feel when Wuhan was basically in some kind of a blackout? You can't leave the city, you can't leave the home for a while, and you can't really have any physical contact with the rest of the world. How did it feel? What supported you to get over that, you personally?
Well, at the very beginning, I kind of felt puzzled. I've never experienced something or heard of something like a lockdown of a whole city. So, Wuhan is a large city with more than 11 million people. It's always overcrowded, but during that time, when you saw the street, it was empty all the time. So it feels just very weird and maybe lonely and sometimes helpless. And there are people uh, who got infected. They were crying for help, and maybe some of them are dying. So at that time, it was like the darkest hour of the whole city. Um, but um, but later, when we just stay at home. But actually, I kind of like staying at home alone because I got fully control of my own time. As a head teacher, I seldom have time for myself. So I'm recording this from in my office. So I was really busy the whole year. So the pandemic, on the other hand, gave me some freedom to look inside myself, to rethink, and to think about what I can do for others. So I spent much time thinking about what I could do, what my responsibility was. So after some time, I applied for volunteering for the
Volunteering.
volunteers. Yeah, twice. But every time I wasn't picked up.
Why not?
I don't know. There are
Why
too
not?
too many people were applying for this. I think, well, that's the hope of our city. So I was kind of down, but I thought it was really great because our city, there were many people who wanted to do something for our city.
Yeah.
So after some time, when I look at the sceneries outside my window, I just said, it will pass. It will pass. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it
We'll
has.
finally make it.
I think it has, right? More or less. The city is
Yeah.
back to life and very vibrant. Really feeling so happy for the people of Wuhan and, of course, for Hubei as well. For this special time of the year, we have to do a toast. I propose that we do a toast, and I have, in my office, a coffee mug. I hope you each and have something as well. What we toast to, I will suggest, because I know there is a secret someone needs to share with you. Jason, why don't you break this to us so that we have one more reason to toast beside the Spring Festival?
Okay, yeah, so I have a big announcement. We haven't announced to anyone yet. So I can now reveal that we're expecting our first baby in 2021. Jiao is 4 months pregnant, and I hope that our baby can follow the zodiac sign of the ox this year and be strong and as healthy as an ox.
Strong and healthy. Wonderful. Congratulations, first of all, to the new baby. Shall we drink to that?
Jason.
Yes, congratulations
Thank
to
you.
Jason
Thank
and Joe, to a new life, and to all of us, healthiness, strength, and happiness to 2021.
To 2021. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Somebody.
Cheers. Cheers. And with that, we come to the end of this special edition of The Point with me, Liu Xin. My guests have been Jason and Zhao from Guizhou, Xiaoqian from the United States, and Xiong Yijun from the city of Wuhan. For me, this last year has also been surreal, but I think many of us have come out stronger. I wish all of you a happy new year, no matter where and how you're celebrating. Thank you for watching the first episode of our special Spring Festival series. I'll see you at the same time tomorrow. You've got the point.
I think there are two important lessons that I got from 2020. The first one is we should be focused on what really matters. And the second one is we now have a chance to create new routines, not just back to old ones. A very happy Chinese New Year to you all.
Hey guys, New Year's coming. I hope everybody has a happy New Year and everybody can be surrounded by love. Everybody can be rich in mind and wealth and world peace.
Hello everyone from Guizhou province. Happy New Year! 新年快乐！恭喜发财！红包拿来！